Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, hello. Okay, I asked what this reading was going to be about, and I was told something. I don't know why I'm smiling about it. Nervous smiling is what it is. Nervous smiling. That's what it is. All right. So, hold on, you guys. That is so adorable. That is so cute. Oh. Okay. So, anywho. Yes. Okay, I'm sorry. I got distracted for a moment. Universal D says, please be sure to share and choke slam the like button, please. Thank you. So I was told like things are getting hella weird. I don't know. Let's just start pulling cards. Is what it is. That's what it is. I'm just gonna start pulling cards as my family prepares to mobilize. I got my handy dandy cart, and that's what it is. It is what it is. Let me put that there. Let me just get 3 cards from here. Are you still tingling from last night? Ooh, oh my goodness. That like I couldn't sleep last night because of all the energy from that 222 sound bath. They tried to stop me. They tried so hard to stop me. And you know what happened? I said, that's fine. I didn't need my singing bowls full blast anyways. I'm just going to go ahead and do this sound bath in whatever way feels right. Right? And so I did miss it. I didn't get the link. You should have got the link from Livestorm. I was wondering why you weren't there. Check your what do you call it? Your spam box. It should have came from Livestorm. No wonder you weren't there. Okay. This right here. Y'all, what is going on? What is going on? Oh my gosh, I don't have my fan anymore. I'm going to start sweating. I'm going to have hot flashes and start sweating. All right, let's see. Card number 21. Sagittarius, I see. Luck is not chance. It's toil. Fortune's expensive smile is earned. So you're just about ready to hit your mark. All of these things that are happening is really shifting stuff. It's really, really shifting stuff. And it's going to be a situation where you're going to be challenged. Okay. There's a lot of challenges that are occurring, and these challenges really need to be addressed appropriately. The appropriate level of force, the appropriate level of consideration, just like the appropriate level of whatever it is. Okay. Let's see. Ooh. You'll go through periods of not being able to participate like in the dominant mindset of your area. You might even challenge authority. What was in your other email? Yeah, it was in your other email. It's whatever email was used to register. Oh. Well, you could still use that link to go ahead and view it. is just as good viewing the recording as it is being there live. Well, you were missed. You were missed. I was like, I wonder why you're not there. Okay, so Sagittarius. Your future looks promising because you're ready to expand and grow beyond your limits. If you do encounter difficulties, you'll surmount them easily and move forward to your next lucky break in life, which should be coming soon. But you have to be able and willing to accept the change. If you're not going to accept the change, it's just not going to be good. It's not going to be good. You're going to feel very stagnant. You're going to feel very tied down, very this and very that. Yeah. This is about lucky breaks. Freedom at the current time is essential. You'll feel the need to fight against restrictions of any kind and want everything out in the open. You want to know where you stand. So for some of you, this is like there's going to be a person who you kind of just need to know where you stand with them. And if they're not going to tell you, if they're not going to show you, if they're not I'm going to say it. Sagittarius can take it. If they're not going to cater to your demands, then you're just going to be like, well, then F you. I didn't need you anyways. But is that the truth? Is that honest? Do you really not need them? Or do you want to just convince yourself that you don't need them because your feelings are being hurt? Because you don't know where you stand? I mean, sometimes that's the most, I don't know. I can't play that role. I need to know where I stand with people. You know, I need to know where I stand with people, because if you're going to let me feel like, why am I here? I'm just not going to be there is what it is. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe either you or someone else has been creating so much like static that is hard to see, you know. Y'all got to be clear. You got to be clear with what you want. I mean, you don't necessarily have to have this like confessional moment. Marlene. Marlene says under her breath, confessions don't hurt. What do you need to confess, and who do you need to confess it to? That's what I want to know. What do you need to confess, and who do you need to confess this to? I'm just saying, you keeping secrets from the crew? You know, we're part of your crew. We're part of your crew. Who do you need to like confess to? What do you need to confess? Oh, let me just stop. Michael says, I see you're in the mood to grill people today. I'm in the mood to grill people every day. What are you talking about today? I'm intense every day, my man. Okay. Let me stop. He says, if I'm in the mood to grill people, I must also allow myself to be grilled. This is not some confessional moment, okay? I mean, I'm not keeping secrets, but I'm just saying, if you expect me to like pull up a chair like therapist style and confess things to you, I mean, let me just pat my makeup. You know, that's how I feel about that. Okay, card number 4, Venus, love. Love is my religion, and I could die for that. You don't need to die for love. Seriously, you don't need to die for love. That's a bit dramatic. It is. The Venus card says to let love take care of it for now. Let's see. In reality, the part of the astrological chart Venus rules is where we want the good life, where we desire ease and comfort, sweet kisses, where we want to see beautiful, be beautiful, and smell beautiful. Michael goes, no, I was just thinking, I don't know what's in my birth chart, my natal chart. I don't know where my Venus is. I don't know what's in whatever you call it. I think it's Scorpio. Oh, Lord. Okay. Venus is very partner oriented. There's a great need to unite with another when the Venus card presents itself. This can bring on codependency and fears of going it alone. Like, you don't want to be codependent. The goal is to be interdependent, where you are functioning as equals, you know, where each of you are autonomous, very independent, but you can come together and depend on each other. Not because you need to, but because you want to. All right, let's see. This can bring on codependency and fears of going it alone. Buying objects that are beautiful, unnecessary, or excessive may come into play when this card is drawn. I was going to say, should I buy crystals? Guess not. So be careful of wasting funds on items just because you want them. You may feel compelled to buy something beyond your budget because you think it's beautiful while you don't really need it, right? And I think that also needs to be applied in a sense of like paying attention. Do you have the budget to pay attention to someone that's like high maintenance? Now, you can be high maintenance all you want if you're the one maintaining you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. But if you're expecting someone else to pay that maintenance fee, I mean, I say this in whatever way you want to take it. Fuck out of here with that. No. You don't just get to be high maintenance just because you choose to be high maintenance. You know? I don't think so. Okay. Ooh. Venus also rules money, especially money shared in a partnership or marriage. But this can be a business enterprise as well. Money worries should find resolution. Okay. That tells me that plans for the soul sanctuary 501c3 is going to go forward nicely. Venus is the most humane and fair of the planets, so you may be asked or feel compelled to settle a dispute. Courts, law, and judgments may factor in. Okay, this card indicates a new love coming into your life or the improvement or new start for an older love relationship. So this might be, I don't know. I don't know if you want to rehash things like that. You know what I mean? You can if you want. You can book sessions. I'm joking. It's just this thing of like, we're still going to be in the shadow of Mercury for another maybe 2 weeks. And with that, I fully would expect people from your past coming forward, trying to message you, all like deep dive sliding into your inboxes and whatever platforms you use. I definitely would expect that for you guys. I never have exes message me. I traumatize them properly the first time I walk away. I'm totally joking. I'm totally joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. All right. So I'm wondering, this is someone coming back towards you. I mean, do you want that? I don't know if it's like a business thing. I don't know if it is a friendship thing. I don't know if it's just a thing. I don't know. I was watching this video yesterday, right? And I'm totally obsessed with Scorpios now because now I have to figure out about Scorpios because I happened to look up my husband's natal chart. I had it saved somewhere for a while and I came across it and I was just like thumbing through it and I was like, oh, he's got Scorpio all over his chart. Yeah. So now I'm totally like fixated on the topic. And I was watching this video on TikTok and they're talking about like who is the darkest of the zodiac. And it was this thing of it's not actually Scorpio. Technically, technically, it's like a tie between Capricorn and Aquarius. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm an Aquarius cusp. Oh Lord, I don't know why that tickled me so much. I was just like, oh God, I should stop. I should stop. But I was cracking up so hard. Okay, let's see. Venus is a planet of charmers, so you may want to pour on the charm in a situation. There's a tendency to become more socially engaged. At this time, people will generally be sweeter, more helpful, and amenable. It's a good period to smooth ruffled feathers or make peace with others. Using diplomacy will serve you momentously at this time. So you have to be diplomatic. I'm so far removed from diplomacy. I don't know though. I don't like that feeling. Like, haven't you been diplomatic enough? Haven't you been diplomatic enough? Because this reading is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. It's also for your cross watchers. It's also for those of us who are empaths. Now, I don't know. I feel like you've been diplomatic enough. Look at this. Look at this right here. I take that as a compliment. I'm gonna take that as a compliment. I'm gonna take that as a compliment. She said, "You def have Aquarius energy." I love Aquarius energy. That's the one sign that I don't want to have open warfare with. I'm not dumb. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm not dumb. Yeah, no, all the other signs, I don't give a damn. Aquarius, if they have like really pronounced Aquarius energy, I'm like, oh, damn, I don't want to fight with you. You cut me the way I cut you. I like them sensitive to words, certain types of words, but you'll know what those words are, and that will hurt. That will hurt a lot. Most people can't hurt my feelings. Aquarius, on the other hand, y'all are smart ass mofos. You know exactly how to hurt people. I'm just saying. It's already hurting my feelings just thinking about how an Aquarius would hurt my feelings. It's already hurting my feelings. All the Aquarius I know love me. I love them. We would never fight. I would say sorry. I'm trying to soothe my emotions. Like, we would never fight. We would never fight. One of my kids is an Aquarius. He'll cut you down with a quickness. Not me. I'm just like, I'm so glad I'm your mom. I'm so glad I'm your mom and you wouldn't do that to me. I feel bad for everyone else. He would do that to other people. He would. So card number 35, 11th house, friends. Don't walk behind me. I may not lead. Don't walk in front of me. I may not follow. Just walk beside me and be my friend. Rely on support from friends and other associations. Don't attempt to go it alone. You will need help. So what is this? What is this? I suddenly got the feeling that I'm sorry guys, my hair follicles feel weird. That's why I keep moving them around. My hair follicles feel super weird. Um This almost feels like someone is trying to get back in your good graces, but they don't know how. So now they're asking other people, like, I don't know if you post things. I don't know if maybe you live stream, but it's almost this sense of like they're taking something about what you say, what you post, and they're like totally wondering, like, are you talking to me? I don't know. Are you talking to them? It's like they're involving other people, not I don't feel like it's to talk caca about you. It feels like they're really trying to understand like your point of view. Excuse me. The 11th house is all about associations and how we connect to others. It's in the house of group alliances, ideals, and our aspirations in a public or social arena. So, like a secondary portion of this message has a lot to do with something that you've been struggling with. Like things are going to ramp up over the next couple weeks, right? Through the month of February. I don't know if you guys know this, but usually around this time of year, there's a lot of like paranormal, occult, occult type activity. They're very busy around this time of year. So it has everything to do with a collective that comes from groups, people who identify and align with each other to make social change. By combining our energies with others, we can make our world, but more importantly, the domain of others, a better place. The 11th house has much to do with our destiny, what we decide to give before we leave this earth. So there's an opportunity presenting itself. And this opportunity is really it's really in alignment with fixing things. Whatever went wrong, this is now the opportunity to fix things, to reconnect, to allow yourself to be vulnerable just enough that in doing that, in committing to a slight elevation in vulnerability, it feels like it's going to pay off. I don't know if I'm going to kick myself in my own ass by saying that, but it feels like if you take a chance, it's going to pay off. And then I start hearing this song. If you change your mind, I'm the first in line. Take a chance on me. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. The 11th house card says that we're not alone in this world and that it's time to aim higher and go among the broader society to work with others or share energies, as it's not a good time to work on your own. The support of allies and other groups are necessary. This is the house that points out how distinct you are and that you're unique, even among groups of people who have a similar mindset. The focus is on friends, what groups you belong to, and who you associate with. To achieve your objectives, pooling your resources with those of others may be necessary. There will be changes in your friendship and associations, or possibly you may be able to achieve an important goal or desire based upon who you know. I'm so going to use this period to push forth with the soul sanctuary stuff. I'm so going to push forward with that. This is really a good time to invest in things that will further what you know is your soul purpose. I mean, really though, romance topics are always going to be present. They just always are. They always are, especially if like you're Piscean, you're an empath. the likelihood of many someone's being drawn to your energy, like just obsessed with your energy, is high. So, I mean, that's always going to be there. Really, if you lose one person that's obsessed with you, I just really feel strongly that another person will quickly take their place as soon as that opening shows up. As soon as they realize there's space for someone else at your table, there will be someone who will scoop that place up. Don't worry about romance. That might just be the Capricorn in me talking, where it's like, eh, you know? But I feel like so many of us are so concerned with romance and stuff. My personal opinion, and this is just my personal opinion, and it might make me sound very cold, detached, and uneducated, is that it's like, you know what? If we're going to be in a romantic relationship, then we are. And if it ends, then it ends. And that's just kind of that. That's just kind of that. I'm not going to like chase after you. I'm not going to be this thing that will continue to try and figure out how to manipulate you into choosing me over someone else. Or like, if you're weighing out options, then I'm not for you. I'm just not. And so when it comes to romance topics, I'm just like, listen, listen, Linda. I really feel like, bruh, if you questioning whether they want you or not, that's just not enough for you. That's not enough for you. And another, a further diving into my opinion, if they're not going above and beyond to show you they're interested during the honeymoon phase, oh, baby boo, that's the good part. That's the good part. I'm just saying, like, if I had never met my husband, I totally am the type of person, like, if you not all up in my mix, trying to be the stirrer and the chef, turning on the oven and everything, like, I just don't got time for this. You playing games. And oftentimes he'll be like, I'm not playing games. I already told you I like it, but I don't feel it. You can say a lot of things. I can say I feel it in a dome, but I'm not here to play games with you. I don't feel it. I don't feel like you like me like that. So I'm not even going to have this conversation with you. I'm just going to go. I'm just going to go. Listen, there is work to be done. There are classes to be taken. I'm just good. I'm good off that. And I think a lot of the reason why I guess you could say why I've been pursued by people in the way that I have when I was a lot younger is that really, I don't know why, but I guess that's not a common thing for a woman to have that kind of mindset. Well, I'm a dude. I was raised like a dude. Like, really, I'm not going to sweat you. Mhm. Right. Right, ocean lover. Life is too short and too beautiful for games. I'm good. You guys should be good too. There's plenty of people in this world. They're not the only hottie. They're not the only hottie you're gonna come across. I'm just saying. No. There's other things like building empires. There's other things for you to focus on. I really truly feel if all you're fixated on is having someone present and not really having them present, that's all you're going to get. And I feel like that's settling. I just feel like that's settling. You know, it's up to you if you want to settle. It's up to you if you feel like you have to go above and beyond. You know, like if I like you, I will reciprocate that, and you will know. You will know. If you like me and I like you, you will know. I won't have to say it. You'll just know. You'll just know. I I don't remember what my husband was doing yesterday or the other day. I don't even remember what. I was like, you frustrate me. and, and then he's like, I love it when you argue with me. And I was like, in the car, you're gonna miss arguing with me when I finally get sick of arguing with you and I walk away from you. And he goes, you like me. I do. I do. But you're making me mad. You're irritating me right now. I think he kept saying something about my food. I'm just like, no, I'm irritated. Leave me alone. Stop talking to me. But he knew. He definitely knew. There's no question about that. He's like, you like me and I like you. I do. I do. So don't let people make you feel like you have to prove anything. Because you don't. You seriously don't. Even though he knows I'm a totally. Oh my God. I was going to say. I said, even though he knows that I'm totally. Now I don't remember what I was originally going to say. Michael just goes, petty. I'm not petty like that. I'm not petty like that all the time for no reason. There has to be a good reason. I have to be heavily invited to the petty shop in order to become petty. I'm not even in denial. I can be petty. That's fine. Okay. When this card turns up in a reading, the focus is on friends. A friend may have the very information you need to further advance your cause and goal, or it could be through a friendship of lovers or spouses that will allow you to attain your dream. Now it's all about the people you know and the organizations you organize or associate with. Even though it's a fortuitous time to join a class, a club, or society, or a group, it's also important you be a standout. Others will support your individuality. So now's not the time to shrink. Don't shrink. Don't shrink. Okay, well, I remember this video yesterday of this guy who's like, his girlfriend is 5'2", but when she gets mad, her attitude is like 6'3". She be showing up to arguments like she's 6'3". And I'm just saying. I'm just saying, you know? Okay. This sometimes indicates a sudden appearance or disappearance of an old friend. Oh, I hope not disappearance. I also hope not reappearance. Wait, what? The sudden appearance. So that means this is someone that's been away for a while. Ugh, I don't know. Let's see. Okay, the appearance of the 11th house card means the collective, those who support you as friends, but can sometimes indicate open enemies and rivals. See what I'm saying? That's why I didn't know. That's why I didn't know if I like the energy of that card. I don't like the energy of that card. I do not like competition. And it's not that I feel threatened by competition. It's that I feel competition is so nonsensical and stupid. It's a total waste of time. And if you invite me and I choose to show up, I promise you I'm going to win. I promise you I'm absolutely going to win. And you're going to rue the day that your little caca ass monkey mind mixed with reptile ever decided to try and even consider challenging me. I'm just saying. I'm just spitting some facts. What the fuck's up with this energy? I feel like I gotta cleanse my attitude really quick. I gotta cleanse my attitude really quick. Shit, that totally activated my fucking competitiveness. I'm so ridiculously competitive. If it's activated, that's why I hate competition. I hate competition because then I'm like, oh my God. No. We're peaceful. We have a role to play. People think we're small and docile. Play that role for a few minutes. Play that role, believe it for a few minutes. Breathe it in. Breathe it in, okay? Okay. Just breathe it in for a moment. Just, oh my God. So, oh my God. I remember when I was like a lot younger. I was like a total chimney, right? I was smoking like 2.5 packs a day, which is horrible. But like, I'm cooking breakfast like this. The ash is hella long. And my husband's like, dude, ash it. No, leave it alone. I want to see if I can have it go all the way down without it breaking. It's like it's going to get in the food. You don't have to eat it. Oh my gosh. All right. Competition's done. We don't compete. We don't do any of that. That's bad. That's bad. It turns good people into almost asshole-ish people. That's what I recognize. When I become competitive to that degree, which that's pretty instant. If it gets triggered, it's pretty instant. Like, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. And then I seem to forget to take into consideration other people, their needs, how we all kind of have needs, and how I have a more elevated understanding of those needs and how we interact and how we're interrelated. It's really bad. I'm so serious. It's ugly. It's ugly because it, like, if I get competitive like that, and yeah, my competitive nature is probably a little more intense than other people, a lot more intense than other people. But that's the thing. It's that it's unnecessary. It's just so unnecessary. I would totally, like, I forget about boundaries and stuff. I do. I remember years ago, my husband and I were like wrestling and stuff. He's a lot bigger than me, so we were wrestling and stuff, and he pinned me down. So what did I do? I did some ground and pound. I went ahead and I used his shirt to choke him. I did. So, and then he was like, "You're crazy. Why do you play like that? It's not playing anymore." I forgot we were playing. I forgot we were just playing. I'm sorry. I got a little too caught up in the game and I forgot. Yeah, there's a way you can choke people with their shirt if they've pinned you down. You got to pull the back of their shirt, pull it up from the inside like this, the back. And then you take the other side. And as you pull it, this part gets pulled so they can't go anywhere. And then you push on them. You put your foot right up like that and you push on their chest. And then you do the judo shirt. And he's like, I was like, that's why we don't play. He says I don't know how to play with people. I just forgot. I forgot we were playing. What? I have ADHD. I forgot it was a game. I forgot. I did not feel cornered. I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't feel cornered. I felt aggressive. I felt like, okay, now we're really gonna play. I have all brothers, and I'm the youngest. And they don't like to play with me because I do things like that when you play with me. Because most of my life, everyone I come across is a lot stronger than me. And I just feel like if you can have the mindset that I'm like small and easy to kind of, jostle around and stuff, then it's fair of me to have the mindset that because I'm small and easy to jostle around, I totally won't hurt you when I play rough. Just saying, I won't hurt you. I'm not capable of it because I'm small. Yeah, I don't think I was playing for that moment that I did that. I don't think I was playing. I think shit got serious for a second. And then he had to remind me that we were just playing. I forgot. What? I mean, that's fair though, right? That's fair, right? Like if you just have to learn the fulcrum. That's the point at which their weight works against them. If I can get your arm, say bye-bye to your elbow. Yeah, no, never let me get your arm. Never let me get anything under your chin. Even if it, like my wrists are kind of tiny, don't let me get that under there. Because if I do, if I see that and I get that space under there, I forget we're playing. I go into full rabid chihuahua mode. Okay. Card number 34, Kurukula. She's vibrant red, pulsating with the feminine power of enlightened activity, infusing our hearts with her capacity for sacred sorcery to conjure and create according to love's guiding wisdom. Do you guys know the difference between a sorcerer and a wizard? A sorcerer, a wizard, and a warlock. Yeah. Do you guys know the difference? A sorcerer is born with that. They're born with that capability. A wizard works really hard to learn how to harness that type of power. And a warlock makes deals. They make deals to try and purchase it. You know what I mean? So sorcery has been given a bad name. It has. It absolutely has. Yes. There are people who have been tricked into using their natural abilities in a very malicious way, in a way to dominate and all of these other really ugly things. You have to make sure that you're aware of how you're using the power that you have. Okay. So let's see. To receive the divine inheritance of blessings and support for sacred fulfillment, certain karmic conditions that resonate at a lower frequency, not lover, at a lower frequency need to be cleared away. So there's a lot of things that are clogging up the pathway. And these things that are clogging up the pathway are things that are more dense in nature. dense thinking, dense emotions, dense behavioral patterns, dense coping mechanisms. Density is not necessarily the enemy, but it definitely makes things a lot more difficult simply because of the density. So, is it easier to float in water, or swim through water versus swimming through jello? Like, see what I'm saying? It's going to take a lot more effort to swim through jello than it does through water. So the density needs to be corrected, and that needs to be cleared out. And if it's cleared out, then a lot of things can begin being put in such a way into your life, your path, that it can elevate your understanding. It could help you to really just move forward, make progress. I feel like for some of us, we get surrounded by people who want so much from you, want you to stay who you are, where you are, want you to continue with the same patterns, a lot of that toxicity and yada yada. Because why? Because they serve as the jello. And some might be like, so are they bad? They need to be cut out? Not necessarily. What I'm saying is understand who is jello and who is not. And those that are jello, it serves your growth. It creates escalations in your stamina, an increase in stamina. It helps to build muscle. It helps you to recognize the parts of you that are needing more focus and more work. Like if you're lifting weights, right? And and you notice that, like, oh, my arms are super weak. My arms are super weak. Are you going to continue working your back? Or are you now needing to work on your arms before you continue deadlifting? I recognize a lot of my issues with deadlifting heavy weights because I would go pretty heavy for my size. A lot of issues I had with deadlifting had to do with imbalances in my hip flexors. Some were tight, some were atrophied. My inner thighs were extremely atrophied. My IT band was extremely tight. I know those are not hip flexors, but that's part of stabilizing my posterior chain and pelvic girdle. And so if it's destabilized and I try and lift heavy, there's no way that my back can overcompensate for that. I will injure myself. So what did I have to do in order to get to my end goal? I needed to work on my glutes. In working on my glutes, it works my entire pelvic girdle. It addresses all the different aspects of me that need to be addressed so that I am a solid foundation from which to do this heavy lifting. I think I stopped deadlifting I want to say 300 something pounds. Yeah. Like 300 times my weight. That would not have been able to be done had I not first analyzed the parts of me that need more help, that need strengthening. And that's what these jello people do for you. They help you to realize the parts of you that are not strong enough to do this. Doesn't mean you're necessarily forever weak. It means you need to pay attention and work on the parts that need more work. There is no point in continuing to work on say my hamstrings or my quads if those are already overly developed. There's no point in that. That's how you injure yourself, when you overly develop one component while the other one is still weak. Muscles, they have opposing movement. The biceps oppose the triceps. When the bicep contracts, it shortens that muscle fiber, and so it bends the elbow. When the tricep contracts, it shortens the back and it straightens out the arm. So it's just like that, like the two opposing parts of you. Those are the things that you need to work on. If you keep injuring yourself, one is either overly developed or the other is too weak. They're not balanced. If you're giving too much and not allowing yourself to receive, that's not balanced. That's how you injure yourself. That's how you deplete yourself before you injure yourself. And this whole mindset of, I mean, that's transactional. If I'm only going to give so long as I receive, that's transactional. Well, yeah, that's transactional. That's not what I'm talking about. You've been conditioned to believe that any type of receiving is wrong. No. As much as I put out into this world, it will eventually find its way back to me. Whatever way, shape, or form, whoever it is that's tasked by creation to refill me, I need to allow that. I'm not saying because I gave you $5 to help you, you're going to have to give me $5. You have a week to do this. Or you're going to have to do $5 worth of work. You have the rest of the day to do this. Like, no, that's transactional. That's transactional. Keeping a spreadsheet of how many times you've helped someone, is it a loan or is it help? In the past, I've had people who have like, oh, I want to help. And I, relatives and stuff like that. Are you just giving me this? Or like, when do you want me to pay you back? Like, I want to clarify. Is this a transaction? Like, are the terms of this agreement, am I fully aware of what your terms are? You're giving me something. Do I need to give that money back? When do I need to give that money back? Is this a gift? Are you expecting services instead of money? Like all of these things that we don't consider. We have to make sure that everything in our life is balanced. That's the main thing, is reestablishing the balance within yourself, within your life, allowing yourself to recognize when someone is expecting a return in their investment, because an investment in you is not a gift. It's not a gift. Like even for a nonprofit, when a large corporation invests in you, when they donate, it's not an investment. When they donate, they are expecting a return in their donation through their association with you. So it's kind of like, in some ways, I see it as you're paying me to succeed, to raise the bar, and to get there. You have to know what people's expectations of you are. I think a lot of what's happening right now is we don't know what people's expectations are. And we need to make sure we understand this, okay? So the card, Kurukula is a shamanic folk goddess who was adopted into the spiritual traditions of Hinduism and Buddhism. She's one of the Kali Nityas, the medicine goddesses of the waning moon cycle, a powerful sorceress, enchantress, and conqueror of enemies. Here is the realm of magnetism and charisma, spellcrafting, and the power of attraction. She has one face, 3 eyes, and 4 arms, with skin that's deep red. In Tibetan Buddhist medicine, red is associated with the power to attract and the power to subjugate negative energies. Ooh. If we explore that a little bit further, red, especially like crimson, is reminiscent of like that life blood. And in order to, subjugate negative energies, it's like the offering of feeding. You're going to allow them to feed in order to put them in a situation where they are compromised. Because really, if you're going to say they, drink blood or whatever, right? if you let it pool at your feet, then they have to bend down to drink that. Like, this is all figurative. And now they're in a position of disadvantage. They don't know what you're going to do, right? Oh, this right here. An investment in you is not a gift. True. I always try to make sure terms are clear, but what I don't like is how they would recant on the deal or change the terms out of nowhere. At which point, now the agreement is void and that's still yours. I'm like, I've had people do things like that to me where they offered help of some kind, and then, you know, it's just help, and then later on they'll have these expectations that I didn't agree to. And when I was still very much apologetic for existing, notice that, right? For existing, I would just do what they want because it's like, damn, well, now, you know, like, but when I found my courage, when I found my truth, when people tried to do that later on, I'd be like, oh, that's just unfortunate. Yeah, first I thought it was a gift. And then secondly, had I known that it wasn't, I totally wouldn't have agreed. I wish you'd been upfront right from the start and we wouldn't be in the situation. So, you know, thank you for the gift and thank you for your help. I'm sorry that you're disappointed. They don't like that. Well, I didn't like you dicking me around either, so it's fair. We're both disappointed. You're disappointed in me, I'm disappointed in you, and let's just go our separate ways. Just go our separate ways. And that's that. Because, I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? The only time that, you know, further, for me personally, the only time that further consideration needs to be put into that is if the investment is monetary, at which point, you know, you need to have a very serious conversation with the individual of whether or not you're going to return funds or what have you. But, you know, say they picked you up because you got stranded somewhere and you thought they were doing you a favor, and now it's like, okay, you're their free babysitter for the rest of your life. I don't think so. I don't think so. They're going to be disappointed no matter what because their terms requires your exploitation. So let them be disappointed or agree to being exploited. Those are your only options. I'm no longer okay with being exploited by people. I mean, to be honest, I never was, but I allowed people to think that I was okay with it just to keep the peace. And I promise you, it never kept any peace. It just didn't. Because one thing led to another thing, to another thing, to another thing. And what was once a favor, and maybe they began with being grateful and it was a barter, like an even exchange, it quickly, for me personally, ends up becoming this sense of entitlement. And the moment that I can no longer overgive is a moment they make statements that make it clear that they didn't appreciate all the times I overgave to begin with. Like, I had someone who's never done anything for me. I've always only ever been a friend, basically like an impromptu therapist. I've done so much energy work on this person to rectify serious AF health conditions. I'm talking about a growth in the brain. Okay. They gave this person only a couple of weeks to live. Like, I think 4 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that. And they came to me about it, and I was like, no, I don't agree with that. Let's do something. Let me work on you. Let me do all the things that I need to do. And then we'll just take it from there. I can't make any guarantees. Always at their beck and call. Always. And the moment they asked me to do something like ridiculous, You crazy. Yeah. You want to know how crazy? The level of cray that I deal with is just, yeah, no. They wanted me to go ahead and become friends with someone from La Familia. I don't know which one, nor did I care to find out. And it was like a higher up because that person has an Asian fetish. What? What? Like, are you serious right now? You're asking me to what? Yeah, they didn't think anything of it. I like it all. Like that wasn't an outlandish request. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. At which point their response, oh, no one ever helps me. Bitch, what the fuck did I do for you recently? Didn't I just fucking do all the shit for you? Am I not your free therapist, like day in and day out? But the moment I was not willing to, and no, I was not being a bad friend. You cannot ask me. Like, that's the dumbest shit I have ever been asked to do. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, are you serious right now? You basically want me to parade around as an escort? Are you? Oh, you lost your caca ass mind. That's what it is. You lost your caca ass mind. I don't need friends like that. I don't. Let people show you who they are and what they expect of you. And then respond accordingly. Respond accordingly. Because after that, yeah, you're blocked. I don't give a shit what's going on with your health at that point. And I'm taking all my energy back. And no, I don't need to be concerned if the growth grows back. You don't use your brain anyways. That's a cold thing to say, but fuck that. Are you kidding me? You want to put me in harm's way like that? Like you really literally want to introduce me to that type of environment? Knowing I have children and I'm married? What? They're just going to be collateral damage? So you can get information? What the hell do you think I am? Like, I don't think so. I don't think so. No, when you seek out people who are, functioning in such a toxic way, understand that when you do that, when you allow people in your life who are like that, that's your way of punishing yourself. That's some deep ass self-hatred level of punishment. And why did I have them in my life? Why did I consider them a friend? Every single time. Oh, they just need somebody. They're a good person. They're a really good person, and life has just been so hard for them. They don't have anyone. And if they had someone just supporting them and being a genuine friend, they'd choose differently. No, they won't. No, they won't. No, they won't. They are who they are, regardless of whether or not you can see their potentiality. They are who they are, no matter what type of potential you see in them. They are who they are. Oh, it was a guy. It wasn't a girl. And I recognize that their thoughts are very toxic. And that's during a period of my life where I was still actively looking for people projects. People who are injured emotionally, mentally, energetically, and that I would love them into wholeness, not in a romantic sense. Absolutely not. No. In the most profound type of support I could possibly give them. Just be a genuine friend with zero interest in anything but helping you. That's not helping. That's a codependency that's being established in order to feed my insecurity. And my insecurity caused me to want to avoid the processing of my life and my traumas to the degree that I would seek out other people's life who had tons of trauma because I was going to fix that. There's nothing to fix. They are who they are. Seeking people out like this, it's a justifiable excuse, but it's still an excuse to help you avoid the processing of your life. There's a difference between seeking people out to quote unquote help and someone coming to you because you already have an established connection, and they come to you and they confide in you, and you both come to the realization and the agreement that you can and will help. And help is temporary. That's not permanent. Help is temporary. So, one of the powers that Kurokula bestows is the ability to remain open to life without fear. Sometimes, due to past experiences of pain, we close ourselves off from life in an effort to avoid further harm. In doing so, we may unwittingly close ourselves off from the gifts meant for us. While seeking solitude and sanctuary as a time to heal is a wise practice, we need to take care that we remain open to life. We need to balance a heightened need for personal space, essentially for particularly sensitive souls, with healthy and nourishing connections. So allowing yourself to be very healthy in that balance, that is super important during this period. Moonrock says if they actually wanted to change, they would do it themselves. Yes. Yes. Sometimes it's just the need for your presence so that they know they're not alone as they do it for themselves. And that's the key right there. That's the defining thing. If they're willing to do it for themselves, if they're putting effort and doing it for themselves, but they just don't have the proper balance yet. They keep falling over and they just need you to kind of hold their hand as they right themselves up. That's one thing. But to expect you to carry them and then later demand to continue to be carried, like, bitch, I'll drop you right here. I'm not going to keep piggybacking you. I'm not going to keep carrying you. I'm just saying. And I'm the type of person, I totally give you warnings before I just like pull away. But oftentimes when I give those warnings, they're subtle and people think, oh, she's just having a bad day today. No, you are my bad day. I'm having a bad reaction to you. I'm not having a bad day. I'm finally sick and tired of all of this stuff that you get me into because I allow you to. Be careful of the people who, when you actually begin to communicate, they tell you that you're just having a bad day. Mm-hmm. Nah, I'm not having a bad day. I'm having a bad connection with you. That's the reality of it, And then they don't like it when you become like blunt in your honesty like that. Why? There's no way to deny it. There's just no way to deny it when you become blunt like that, and they don't like that. But see, not all people are like that. You don't necessarily have to be like prepared for outright war with someone just because you need to speak your needs. Sometimes you are connected to a good person and it's just an unbalanced dynamic that was established and they're unaware. And, hearing it come from you gives them an awareness and they're apologetic and they go out of their way to make sure that you're respected, you're appreciated. I mean, that's a very beautiful thing. When you have a friendship that could have crashed and burned because now you've spoken your needs out loud, and instead of crashing and burning, they're like, here, let me help you up. I didn't realize that I was doing that. You had me thinking that everything was all good. I wish you had told me sooner. Like I wouldn't have kept asking you to do that. That's a really powerful connection. if they mean it. Because, sometimes whack-ass people will watch my videos so that they understand how to better manipulate an empath. This is the reality of it. Sometimes, it's not often, but there are some people who are organic portals and they watch videos like mine, not just mine, but videos that have similar content to mine, where we speak truth, a potent truth. And they use that to better understand how to more efficiently manipulate you. Use your intuition. Don't just base it off what I'm saying. Like, hear what I say and allow yourself to kind of store it away. So that way, if you ever face that type of situation, you can consider it and then allow that consideration to help bolster your intuitive knowing. Because if they're saying the things that I'm saying right now, and obviously it sounds good, right? It sounds evolved. But then something about their energy does not feel right. Something about their energy feels off. You're not being paranoid. You're not. You're being intuitively guided. You have an intuitive sense of something that's going on. I don't know what's going on, but something's going on. So allow yourself to know without a shadow of a doubt, know when someone is just not right for you. It's okay for you to change your mind. It really is. Even if it's about me, it's okay for you to change your mind and begin realizing I'm amazing. I'm joking. No, seriously. If one day you're like, I don't think I vibe with her anymore, that's okay. Literally, it's not just a line. It's okay if you don't vibe with me. It's okay if you choose to walk in a different direction. Because this is a healthy place. My sense of self and my value is not contingent on you being forever obligated to be loyal to me and present. No, like, you're going to grow. Sometimes we'll go in the same direction. Sometimes we won't. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make me a bad person. It just means now your journey doesn't involve me. My journey doesn't involve you. There was this beautiful thing that I came across. Let me read it to you. Da, 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 da. Oh, I think I deleted it. Oops. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I deleted it. I deleted it. It was something about, like, if we've been friends, we were close friends and we've drifted apart. It doesn't mean that I'm no longer cheering you on silently. I'm totally the person that I will still cheer you on. We don't have to talk every day. We don't have to talk every month. We don't have to talk every year. I still celebrate when there are things about you in your life that should be celebrated. I genuinely celebrate that. I feel genuine happiness. The last time I spoke to one of my, because I found several of my twins. The last time I spoke to one of my twins, it had been quite some time since I last spoke to them. And they had shared something that they had accomplished. It was a big thing. They took a chance. They went to a different country, a foreign country. They established themselves as a professional in their field, took a huge chance. It paid off, and then they got featured in Forbes magazine. I'm like, bitch! Yeah, no, that's huge. That's huge. That is to be celebrated. I'd be bragging about him. Oh my God, you know who was featured in Forbes? Yeah. And then he was featured in all sorts of other news publications and stuff because of his accomplishments in such a short period. That's freaking huge. Hell yeah, I'm going to celebrate that. I'm not just going to celebrate if I'm involved in part of it. Like, no, that needs to be celebrated. That's the type of friend that I am. Or literally, it's like this freedom. We don't have to talk every day. I will still have space for you. You know, I will still have space for you. Once you enter into a specific circle within my heart, that place is forever yours. It's literally forever yours. Unless you do some shady shit where I'm like, I was such a bad judge of character there. Then, you know, depending on how we part ways, that should always be yours. It doesn't get taken away from you. Again, unless you did something that is shady AF, that shows me that you have compromised integrity. No. You can walk away and learn different things in different areas. And when you find your way back and our paths reconnect, I totally feel like, oh my God, how have you been? How's everything? You know, like we just talked last week. It's okay to be independent. It doesn't necessarily mean that you don't care. It doesn't necessarily mean that they hate you now. You know what I mean? It just means you guys are taking time to learn things in each other's absence. And that's just, you know, that's a part of growth. That's absolutely a part of growth. It's one of those things that we need to be willing to cultivate within us. It's so important. Not just so you can be the best friend you could possibly be for someone important to you, but so you can be the best human that you are capable of being. It's all the way around. It's for your goodness and growth as well, not just for the person that you love. Okay. I found that when you can have those type of connections, and be able to verbalize that, you know, I'm not chasing you guys away, Maria. No. It's just this thing of making sure everyone knows, like, this is a place where it's not like other places where if you disappear for a little bit to work on you, it's not like, you're back. Are you a spy? Like, no. No. Nope. That's not how it works here. Here, it's like, oh, maybe you got busy. Maybe you had things going on. You know, life happens. No, we've been holding your spot. We put a seat warmer on it. We didn't want it to get cold while you're away. Come on, have a seat. Join us. What's up? What's been new? You know, it's a really beautiful thing to be able to hold a space like that for people. To finally reach a point in my development, I'm not at the end point. I'm somewhere still in the starting point. But this realization that it's like, I'm working on, you know, any struggles or issues that I've had with abandonment, with rejection sensitivity. Like, girlfriend, they're not rejecting you just because they're busy living their life. You know what I mean? Yeah, see, and look, see, like, I'd be noticing, like, where's Universal D at? And then he's also like, how come she didn't go live today? Life happens. And it's as long as we know that the other person is safe, that's all. That's all. It's a very beautiful thing to be able to have that kind of connection with people. You know, the thing that sucks the most, like for me personally, is when I connect with people and suddenly I feel like I'm a horrible person because I didn't do what you said and I didn't show up when you called, like when you whistled. I didn't come running like a lovesick puppy. Like that feels horrible to me. Because I've had many people be that way with me. where, the moment I get quiet because I get overwhelmed. Socializing with people is extremely difficult for me. I just get overwhelmed. I'm not a social butterfly like people think. I'm really not. I have to compartmentalize when I live stream. People think, "Oh my gosh, it's just so comfortable, it's so natural." And this, I'm literally in a bedroom all by myself. I'm talking to a green dot, and although I feel your guys' energy when you comment, all of you are in your own containers. Everyone is kind of kept separate. I need that buffer zone. If not, I get overwhelmed very easily. Like in real life, in person, I get overwhelmed very easily. I become extremely socially awkward. I'm not ashamed of that. That's who I am. That is how I am. At one of the retreats I hosted, this one person, like, I don't know, to me, it felt like she confronted me in front of everyone. I was helping to tidy up. The chef, I had hired a chef. I flew him in for the retreat, and I think he had asked me to get something from, I don't know, but I was walking past this group, and this person in front of everyone was like, "Emmy, aren't you going to hang out with us?" No. And then I walked away, and I was like, was that rude? I think that was rude. But because it was like, I felt like I was being forced to, I was just like, no, I'm cleaning. And I walked away. And then I walked away. I mean, that's how I am. That's how I am. The less you force me to interact, the more I'm going to be like, hey, why are you so quiet? But the more you try and force interaction, the more I shut down. That's how I am. So yeah, it's going to be okay. I remember I pulled aside one of the other girls who was at the retreat. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. They want me to hang out outside. Should I go to the room? I know. Who does that? I do. Should I hide in the room? But at the same time, I'm also the same person at the same retreat that's like one of the other guests who is just as like kind of reserved and introverted. I was like, you come sleep in my room. You can sleep in the middle of the bed and we'll just put pillows between us. You should just sleep here with us. Oh my gosh. The less you try and sweat me, the more I'm going to be like, we need to hang out. The more you sweat me, the more I'm going to be like, I feel unsafe. This is unsafe. I don't know what's going to happen. They might kidnap me. Okay, guys, let me quit messing around. Kamala Devi, and I am messing around, but also all of that is true. All of it is accurate and true. All of that happened. All of that happened. I was literally like, girl, we have a really big bed. We're both really small people. You could fit in the middle. If you're uncomfortable, you could go on the other side. Your head could be at the foot. And that way we won't be inappropriate with each other. Yeah, I'm totally that person. Okay. So Kamala Devi, we witness her beauty and all struggle melts into grace. Upon a grateful sigh, the heart softens into her protection and radiates peace. Her presence transforms frustration into inspiration, fatigue into replenishment, and overactivity into effortless attraction. She's a golden pathway of divine manifestation and peaceful contentment. She empowers your heart to receive with the same generosity, openness, and grace that you express when you give freely and joyfully. Abundant divine blessings are upon you. She's just so pretty. Oh my gosh. That's like a really good color on you, girlfriend. I'm just saying, that's like a really good color on her. You know, those jewel tones just do wonders for her. And your makeup is so on point. That contouring is to die for. And all the accoutrements, like so beautifully adorned. I'm just saying. The 10th of the 10 Mahavidyas, the wisdom goddesses, is a gracious goddess Kamala. Her presence reminds us not to make things more difficult for ourselves than they need to be. Sometimes the assumption of burden is necessary for our growth. At other times, growth happens when we learn to cast the burden aside, understanding that we'll be able to offer so much more when not carrying another on our backs, so to speak. Sometimes a more graceful path evokes greater spiritual progress, which ultimately benefits all beings. Kamala Devi holds the wealth generating, life force protecting qualities of preservation and cultivation. If we are used to always giving out, even if we receive a lot but consistently overshare or leak our energies, she teaches us the art of loving, the loving art of self-valuing. Ooh, self-valuing, where you are properly valuing yourself, your time, your energy, your focus. The greatest show of generosity is your attention. That is the greatest show of generosity. Like generosity, love, commitment, paying attention to you. Like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's huge. For me personally, being someone who's really never, I don't know, maybe I have. At growing up, I was never listened to. I never had a voice. I was never allowed to really speak, but I didn't give a shit. I'm going to speak anyways if you piss me off enough. But there was really no one to communicate with, converse with, all of that, right? And to enter into a place within my adult life where clearly, I mean, it's no longer something that I can explain away. You guys totally value the time and the effort I put into things. And how do I know this? Because you pay attention. You pay attention. I bet you guys know so much shit about me that I don't even remember sharing. I bet you. And that's one of the things. It's like, if you can hold me in that level of consideration, at that level of consideration, then maybe I need to recalibrate my sense of self and the value that I give myself or don't give myself, to just really be aware of my self-valuing struggles or progress. It's a really beautiful thing to be in an environment that's very reflective of the type of progress I've made within my personal journey. Universal D says, that's the only self I didn't take into play was self-value. Like self-respect, got self-realization, got that self-acceptance, got that, but self-value is one I haven't dived into yet. Yeah. I remember years ago when I was establishing my presence on another social media platform. As part of what I was doing, I had a lot of products, like tangible goods, that I could have given away as prizes, but I didn't. So what we would do instead of number wars, you would have to share the live stream. My poor son. And as I'm live streaming, my son will write everyone's name down on a really tiny piece of paper. And by the time I'm finished live streaming, or somewhere in the middle, or several times throughout the live stream, you just never know, I would get out the Bob, the bucket of blessings. We called it Bob. It was like a glass container or something like that. And we would stir up the names that were written down, and then I would pull a name out. And whoever's name I would pull out, that would be someone who shared my live stream out. The more shares you have, the more entries you have in the Bob. And I was giving out full-on private sessions. $200 sessions, $300 sessions, $400 sessions. I really didn't care. This comes easy to me. It's just an hour. That's what I thought. It's just an hour. And I remember one of the most influential people in my life up till now was like, but that's like a $400 session. I mean, that's so much less if you just spend the $5 to ship like a little something that you already have. And I'm like, but now I'm spending $5. She goes, but your time is so valuable. And I was like, no, it's easy. I did not realize that I was not self-valuing. I wasn't valuing the time, the type of energy and focus I was putting into things. That's priceless. That's priceless. And to me, I was just like, I mean, it's no biggie. And see, that's how I was teaching people not to value me. It's not, oh, that's how I was teaching people to get out of paying for services. No. That's how I was teaching people how to not value me as a person, as the gift that I am. I taught them it's no big deal. What I do is no big deal. It's nothing major. It is major. It is a big deal. You have to start being the first one in your life if no one else can or will. You have to begin allowing yourself to be the first one in your life to truly value you, the gravity of you. Be your own hype person. There's nothing selfish or greedy about that. There's nothing toxic about being able to truly value yourself to the degree that you need to. Right, Carmen? Carmen says, and the time that was keeping you from doing what you wanted or spending with your loved ones. Yep. I didn't take so many things into consideration. So many things. So, you got to make sure you begin taking the appropriate things into consideration, because if you don't, then other people will feel like they don't need to either. And it's not a matter of, well, if a good person would know. No. It's not about good or bad. It's really not. It's not about good or bad. This conversation is about understanding the nuances in that self-valuation journey. It's a journey to truly understand the value of you. Understanding your value has nothing to do with devaluing someone else. I mean, the fact that I even have to say that, it sucks, but that's the society that we exist within right now. Where you have to, if you're going to value yourself, you also have to give this disclaimer, but that doesn't mean I think you have any less value. That should be just a given, where my value is not contingent on you being devalued. Right? Right. So allow yourself to go through that part of your journey. This is a period that's really going to force you to see things that maybe you didn't want to see. This is a period that's going to cause you to really, really look at yourself. It's hard. Oh, first time here, I'm about to cry. I value everything and everyone but me and can't break away from that. Yes, you can. That's why you're here. Those who have been with me for some time know. They know without a shadow of a doubt. You find me when you're ready to end cycles. Your soul brings you to me. I am laid right in front of you. Because once you're here, you've entered into a completely new way of being. And this is the start of your journey. How do I pronounce your name? Shada? Shada K? Like Seamus? Is it like Seamus? Shada? I think it's like Shada. Yeah? I don't know. I want to make sure I say your name right. I love interesting names, names that are unique. I love it. I love it. Yeah, no, this is the start. This is really truly the start. I mean, for you to stumble upon my live stream on the day where I'm literally talking about this is the start of a completely different way of living. Now, in order for you to get there, you have to be willing to let go. Let go of anything that your life is already in the process of removing. This is not about throwing people away. This is not about creating conflict intentionally, right? This is not about becoming aggressive or confrontational. This is about allowing your life and other people's sovereign free will to do what it does when you're no longer of use to people who are only there to use you. I promise you, they'll find their way out. They'll probably hurt your feelings as they go. That's a small price to pay for their absence. That's how I see it, you know? TSP! Hi, TSP. Yeah, I mean, that's the way I see it. Like, I've had so many people who I didn't have the courage to remove them from my life because I didn't want the conflict. And I just was no longer as available and they saw themselves out. Yes, they were hurtful as they exited. Small price to pay for your absence, for you to remove yourself. That's a small price for me to pay. Go ahead, be hurtful. Not physically. You can say whatever you want. I'm just not going to listen to it. I understand the way this works now for me in my life. Yeah, say what you want. That serves as further confirmation that absolutely this is the best thing for everyone involved. You walking away from me is the best thing for everyone involved. And, you know, I've found this to be true for pretty much every situation that I've been in. Sometimes things will be misaligned between myself and another person. And I don't know why, you know? And it will be something where it's like, okay, I feel like I need to kind of back up a little bit. I don't know what it's about, but I'm just going to back up a little bit. And as I back up and they back up and we kind of just go our separate ways, there's no conflict. There's no crap talking. And that tells me, oh, okay, it was just a misalignment. Maybe at some point, somewhere down the line, we might be realigned and our paths will cross again. And at that point, I'll have to reassess once again, like, does this feel aligned? Does this feel healthy? If our separation does not involve you like going out of your way to attack me, I don't need to take that personally. I just don't. That's the kind of person that I am. If we have a disagreement and we kind of irritate each other and you just go your separate way, I go my separate way, that's not the same as you attacking me. If there's no disagreement and you decide to launch a full-on campaign and involve other people to tear me down, that's attacking me. And if I didn't do anything to justify that, You're forever out of my life. I don't give a damn if our paths cross again. When you're out, I'm deadbolting and nailing that door shut. I don't give a damn if people are going to think I'm being mean. Hey, you were going to talk shit about me anyways. And whoever wanted to believe you and listen to you without asking me, take them with you. I don't need any flying monkeys in my life. Take them with you. Good. That's people I probably would have had the same issue with later on at some point. Just take them with you. But Emmy, aren't you afraid of losing people? I'm not afraid of losing people who weren't meant to be in my life. There's no fear there. There was no loss. None. And I don't say that like I don't care. I say that as a declaration of fact. There was no loss. Those people were never going to be the people who could hold a sacred and safe space for me when life fractures me. They were there for the benefit. So what is the loss? The friends that I have right now, that's an absolute freaking loss. If they were to walk, I'd be like, oh my God, what did I do? I literally would feel that way. Like, what did I do? Do I need to apologize about? Did I do something I didn't understand that I did? Like, I'm socially awkward. Tell me what I did, you know? But if it's people who you were never going to hold a sacred space for me to feel safe, what is the loss there? Because that's one less follower. I'm not here to accrue followers. I'm here to simply be witnessed as a woman coming back home to herself, as a mother developing, as a wife growing in my understanding of how important, how crucial my husband's role is in my development. And yes, I'm an independent woman, but I'm also interdependent with my husband. I'm not going to have someone tell me that I'm weak if I what? Say that I'm submissive to my husband? Bitch, I'm not submissive to no one except my husband. What? Nothing. That's what. What kind of power, personal power, do you need to have to be able to own yourself in that way? What kind of personal power? What kind of self acceptance? And I think that's what we're reaching for, an acceptance of self and allowing the people in our life to be the very things, the very people, the very situations that spark the lessons that lead to those realizations, that lead to that growth. It's a very beautiful journey when you allow yourself the time, the energy, the space to really develop your sense of who you are and where you're headed within your development. Card number 28, Guya Kali, our divine mother who knows all, with every answer and every mystery within her power to disclose, provides knowledge at the right time and in the best way. An answer to your question shall be provided. Do not immediately dismiss intentions or intuitions that are unexpected or lead you to unknown territory. So don't be so quick to dismiss that. Give yourself the time and the space to begin really just taking a look, taking a look, just taking a look. Do not immediately dismiss. Okay, I already read that. Rest and reflect upon your insights, allowing your wisdom rather than a reaction to distill their usefulness and value. An entirely new perspective about a matter of importance is awakening. A secret shall be revealed, and all you need to know will be given to you now. It'll be given to you. What is this one? If he plays the man and solve problems as a head of household, then I would submit. I have a very specific belief here, and no one else has to share this belief or agree. If I'm going to raise a man to be the head of the household, then I need to play my part as the neck. Let yourself ruminate on what that means. If a man is going to be the head, I must be the neck, the thing that guides where the man's view goes. Both are important. If he's going to be the head, then I'm going to be what connects him to the rest of the body. And I have to be strong enough to hold him up. And if I don't have that kind of strength, then I don't need to be putting a man at the head of the house. I no longer even want or need that. I want an equal, someone who could live very happily, very successfully without me, yet chooses to walk beside me anyways. That's like, ooh, like in my marriage for a very long time, I was a stay-at-home mom, very long time, about, I want to say 16, 17 years. I've been a stay-at-home mom. I haven't worked. My husband has been the sole breadwinner. I know he can take care of us. Financially, traditional male role, he absolutely can take care of us. And then he saw where my life and my journey was taking me, and he took a step back. Not because, oh, now it's your turn, but no, baby, get on that pedestal. It's time for the world to see you. It's time for you to shine. I'm here in the background. You notice he never comes on the live streams, yet he's always on the live. Why? That's your spotlight. I don't want to be in a spotlight. He says, then that's for you. That's your thing. And as I step into the role of now being the one that works, he still supports me. He does everything in the background. On top of that, we've switched roles. He takes care of everything in the household. I know for a fact, should I ever be taken out of the picture, my kids will be fine. He knows how to raise strong, intelligent, balanced young men. He knows how to get everything done. He is my equal in every single way. We don't need a head of the household. There's something to say about a man who's always treated me like an empress before I even remembered that I once lived as one. There is something to say about a man who found a girl who was fractured and didn't see her as such. There's something about a man who didn't need me to be perfect and whole and powerful and balanced, and never had to force me to be anything else outside of myself. We throw around the term man, but are we really speaking about men? My definition of a man is 100% created by my experience with my husband. I have a full understanding of what a man is because of his presence in my life. And when I find people speak about men and you know, have the view that you have, Jazzy Tay, it kind of hurts my heart because I see you and I see your value and I understand your life is devoid of an actual man. You're mitigating the problems of broken boys. And I don't know how we fix that. I don't know how we fix that. I don't know if it's we need to fix the boys so they can become men, or we need to understand the truth of our value as women. I don't know how we fix that. Blaming and pointing fingers at the other person or at ourselves doesn't fix anything. We have to, at some point, be done talking about the problem and instead begin actually actively seeking a solution that we will implement. I'm planning to leave. I feel like you're strong enough. I feel like you're strong enough to make up your mind and choose your happiness. You know, life brings us the people that we need to develop the understandings that we need to develop. And there's no time frame that we develop. There's no set, like, by this age, you should have had this, this, and this already figured out and accomplished that and own this and live there and vacationed over there and drive this car and that car. Like, that just needs to be done with. That's a stupid storyline that was never really accurate anyways. It was just to crush you with a sense of disappointment. If you allow too many people to speak, your head will be full of nothing but empty echoes. They won't even be words that you can understand. I started my family pretty young, in my early 20s, like very early 20s. And I had so many people telling me that I was being so irresponsible, my life was over, and blah, 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 blah. Not just, not even really my parents, because my parents knew better than to say that kind of shit to me, you know? And it was this thing of, you don't even know me. And it went from basically trying to convince me that I don't have the capacity to be a good, loving, empowering mother, to then some of these very same people criticizing me for being a helicopter parent, criticizing me for this and that. The reality is, none of that is my truth or my problem. These are people who thought I would fail as a mother, only to embarrassingly realize I excel. I'm a damn good fucking mother. And then they began to compare themselves to me when I was not even trying to compete. I was simply focused on being a mother. And when they felt inferior based on their own comparisons and their own standards, then they found another way to attack me. I'm not here for that. You guys have to begin choosing, what are you here for? What are you here for? Are you here to simply fill a role for other people as they create this movie storyline of how they are a victim or they are a hero and you are the villain? And, I'm too busy living my own life. I'm not equipped with a level of patience necessary to further perpetuate someone's storyline. And I think that's where things get weird. I think that's where things get hella odd. This realization of what you have been allowing yourself to be coerced into participating in. If you had the power to passively agree to something that's detrimental to you, you absolutely 100% have the power to fucking retract that, to change your mind and withdraw your consent. And if they don't like it, too fucking bad. Too fucking bad. Let them deal with that disappointment. Just like they had you deal with the disappointment of how they failed to treat you with a proper level of respect and consideration. Life brings you everything that you need in order to learn and grow at the way, the time, the measure that you need to. Absolutely, Maria. Maria says, Jazzy Tay, it wasn't a waste of time. It was a lesson. It was a lesson, an opportunity to learn, not teaching you a lesson like that's what you get, but teaching you a lesson like, okay, what have you learned? What do you think about what you deserve now? What do you want in a healthy partnership? What will you allow? And what will you, right from the start? Nope, that's a deal breaker. You have the authority to retract whatever permission you gave before you knew what that would lead to. When people make all these promises early in the relationship, and so then you make promises because of the promises that were either implied or said outright, when they renege on that, when they withdraw that promise, they're no longer going to try to deliver on that promise. You also no longer need to do what you promised. It's not a tit for tat type thing that I'm encouraging. It's a realization that you have the power and the authority to change your mind. You are not obligated simply because of the amount of time you have spent invested in this lesson that you're learning. For some of us, we need more time to learn things than others. That doesn't make you less than. It just means you learn differently. See, you might need 10, 15 years to learn something that would be easy for me. But here's the thing. That 10, 15 years is not as harsh as my 1 month where my entire life falls apart. I'm wondering why I'm still alive. It's just crazy ass shit. Who am I going to talk? I got no, you know what I mean? Just pure cluster fuckery for a month versus it being drawn out for 10 years. And a slow accrual, a building up of an intolerance to whatever it is. Because I'm really I can be reactive. I can be absolutely reactive. I'm the type of person who will make excuses and make excuses and make excuses for you until I realize I'm making excuses, and now I'm out of excuses, and now it's like, fuck that. Are you fucking kidding me? It's not a, oh my God, what did you don't value me. What is this? Why am I here? No, it's mine's immediate. Like, boom. Fuck that. Fuck you. I'm fucking out. See? So it's the same thing. We're both learning, but mine is much more explosive. It's much more reactive. It's much more destructive. So what's the better one? Neither. It depends on the person and how you learn. That's it. It's just how you learn. That's literally it. That's all. Don't attack yourself. Don't bother attacking them. Stop focusing on the problem if you already know what it is. Instead, use your energy, your time, and your focus to begin understanding the solutions that are feasible, the possible answers. And then once you get a list of that, select the one that's the best option for you and implement it. It's not enough to look for solutions. You also have to implement that solution in your life in order to resolve whatever needs to be resolved. Okay? So you guys, this was an intense combo. My ADHD was raging. Literally all over the place. I think the one thing that I'm going to take away from this intense and interesting chat with you guys is that I really love my husband. I do. I forgot what he said. Something about my food yesterday. I'm never so mad at him. But he's right, though. I like him too much. That's all. That's all I needed to take away from this. I hope you guys are able to take away way more than what I was going to take away from this. I hope. If not, that's okay. If none of this resonated with you, that's okay. If only parts of this resonated with you, that's okay. My only hope here is that you got whatever your soul brought you here to get, whether it's just some giggles or some profound AF truth, whatever it is. I hope you got it. I hope you got whatever it was you felt very starved for. I really, really am so proud of how this space is a space where we can all just feel like we're home. We don't feel judged. We feel like this my crew, they'll understand. Like I could say anything and you don't feel like, oh, these people don't get it. They're vilifying me and blah, 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 blah. I'm just so proud of us. I'm so proud of what we were able to create together. And I know it's going to continue. I was going to say, I hope it continues. No, I know it's going to continue. I know it will. So you guys, I'm going to actively every live stream, just gently remind everyone, I have the first project for the Soul Sanctuary.love. And that first project is raising the funds to go ahead and officially form that 501c3, a nonprofit foundation that we are going to create together to truly uplift humanity. There's a lot for us to learn individually as well as together. A virtual sanctuary that we have right now, it works for now. Eventually, we will grow beyond the capacity of simply a virtual sanctuary. Before you guys are ready for that, I'm going to go ahead and begin the groundwork. I'm going to begin the groundwork to start the physical sanctuary. That starts with forming a nonprofit organization. If you feel it within yourself, whatever amount, you can go to the soulsanctuary.love. There's a donation button on there. Whatever amount, it doesn't matter what the amount is. Whatever amount, it's going to be earmarked specifically to take care of that $2,600 or more cost for that tax exempt status. We're doing this. We're doing this. Regardless of how long or how short a time it takes, we're doing this. I tell you guys, once I'm hyperfixated, you're not fucking stopping me. That's a good thing about me. I only hyperfixate on the things that will grow us. I might get distracted here and there, but the things that will grow us, the things that are part of my soul's purpose, can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. We're doing this. We're doing this. So I'm going to get going. If you guys could give this video a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. If you could interact with the podcast, if you're listening to this from the podcast, first off, thank you for still staying after all my fooling around. I promise it's not intentional. Just sometimes the ADHD kicks in and I get distracted. But thank you so much for staying all the way to the end. If you are listening to this via podcast, please interact with the track, share it out to whoever you think would benefit from hearing it. And I will see you guys again very, very soon. If you're part of my Soul Sanctuary membership already, I forgot to send out an email to let the people in the Ascension tier know. I did already complete the dark matter clearing as well as the 3-card pull for our group. It's already in the soulsanctuary.love member section. I'm looking for a way to integrate the others into the soulsanctuary.love member section. We'll figure it out somehow. If you haven't already converted your membership from Patreon over to our permanent home on our website, please do so at your earliest convenience. I'll see you guys again very soon. I hope everyone has an amazing, amazing rest of your day.